Loktarg, our friends. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for another Orc Mode workout. You guys saw the random number generator picking my lift. Oh, a quick reminder for those of you who watch these vlogs every day, please remember to click like down below. A lot of you guys know that people run a dislike bot, and the dislikes will outpace my likes 5 to 1 in these vlogs. Even though they'll get thousands of people who watch them religiously, you guys forget to click like, and then it looks terrible. So I would greatly appreciate it if you could reach down and do that real quick. So I took the football bar out of my rotation for the max work, mainly because I want to have it there for chest presses. I want to have it there for overhead pressing as a variation to avoid overuse, and so that I can change supplemental lifts. But I feel like when I go really heavy and I'm hitting maxes, racking it can be an issue. Because of the awkwardness of it, I feel like sometimes I'm hitting the uprights, I'm bleeding power, wasting max effort lifts when that happens. And between benching, floor presses, pen presses, all the bands and chains I have, I easily have well in excess of 20 variations I can easily do. I could probably come up with more than 30. I don't have to have it to do that. And again, it gives me another tool for hypertrophy purposes. So we ended up with a floor press with 43 pounds of chains today, and it's close grip, which is what I'm doing in general. And I am noticing that the close grip on the floor press is a little harder for me, but that's fine. I'm trying to do a lot of close. I might mess with some of these, taking them out an inch or two wider, which would be more of a medium grip. But I'm trying to stick with the close grip stuff. Just build my triceps, do close grip pressing, which is easy on my shoulders. I'm stronger, and it gives better development all the way around anyways, because it's a longer range of motion. And I'm stronger. I mean, the combination should be producing size. But as you guys know, this is all about just hitting a random max. It's about pushing what I can on the day. This is my 9th day in a row doing this. So the training system at this point is basically max effort conjugate days done over and over and over. So it's a press day, then a lower body day, press day, lower body day. And I'm alternating squat and deadlift. And I could always change that, just like I would do week to week. I'm doing it workout to workout. So it works great, and I'm actually feeling good. Today was a little challenging, but it's because I was trying to rush. I had a client I had to meet with, and I barely got my 3rd set of tricep extensions in before that client. I needed to meet with him. But really, it was a challenging workout because I had to finish all the assistance work faster, and it made it really tough. Now, I got the 285 plus 43 chains on the floor press today. That was hard. It looked really good on camera. It didn't feel as good as it looked. Like, I'm surprised when I saw it that it didn't take me like 4 seconds to lock it, because it felt grindy at the top, but on camera it was pretty smooth. But again, max effort is max effort. We're above 90%, and trying to hit 95 to 100%. I feel like I hit that, right? I feel like that was at least 95% of my max. So that's what we want. We want to hit a max, and then we come in and we do large amounts of volumes of roughly 10 reps on all of our supplemental lifts. For me, in that case right now, it's a lot of close grip pressing, a lot of overhead pressing, a lot of tricep work. Some people are saying, well, where's all your lat work? Well, I do 100 chin-ups every day. I don't need extra lat work. We don't need any extra lat work. That's all we need. So these pressing days are dedicated to pressing and triceps. Now, for me, because I'm going with close grip pressing, we know that I need the extra delt work and the tricep work. My pecs will get all the stimulation they need just from the pressing in general. In other words, if I'm doing the close grip presses and the dips 3-4 times a week, my pecs are getting plenty of stimulation. I'm not worried about them. And the only weaknesses we're really seeing are tricep and delt, right? So we just have to keep those things growing. It's going to be a lot of real close grip pressing, a lot of close grip overhead press. Banded dips is necessary. Large amounts of tricep exercises. And I'm using a certain one now, but I'll rotate through them. I have other variations. The main thing is going to be we have variations of tricep movements, and then I have 2 different barbells I can use for both close grip press and overhead pressing. So I have variation available. And we can always mess with chains and stuff if necessary too. But volume, volume, volume. Now, some people have said, what are you doing with loading? I'm not. I'm just sticking with the weights that I know are my minimums to work with, and I'm trying to get to 10 rep sets. Some of these days I'm not able to get it, and a lot of it's rest pause to get there. So if I'm having to rest pause the final rep or the final couple of reps on any set, we know we're at our intensity level. And what people need to remember, I'm an advanced lifter. I don't even necessarily have to program it. I've just got to get close to failure with enough weight and enough volume to keep stimulating muscle growth. This is very high volume training. And people do need to remember that. Getting close to failure in and of itself reaches a certain fatigue threshold irrespective of the weight you're using. So I'm basically working with a basic rough weight idea, try to hit a rep and set. Now, if I can increase that weight, I will, but I would argue that if I can increase the weight, I should have increased it already because I need to be reaching limit sets. So usually I want my last set on most of these exercises to me to have to rest pause to finish it, or I want to come short of heating it, which is what I'm doing. Some of these I'm not. I'm not able to finish the 5th set, which tells me I am at the weights I need to be using. Because 5 sets of 10 where you're failing on the final set, you're dealing with a very heavy weight for 10s for yourself personally. So we're good. And what we do, we use all the various max work to train maxes, to get good at maxes, to build max effort strength on a wide variety of exercises that are unpredictable. So we don't know what we're going to do day to day. I just know I'm going to do some sort of press. I just know I'm going to do some sort of squat, some sort of deadlift. We don't get more information than that until I'm ready to do the workout. So I have to just hit max effort on random movements, and that builds max strength, and it makes me identify weak points, and whatever my weak points are, they get a priority. We hypertrophy them, we build them with as much volume as I can tolerate. And interestingly enough, this experiment's going good. This is day 9. I'm still holding pretty strong. Now, am I going to have days where we think, man, that max should have been 10 pounds heavier? Yeah. When you're maxing every day, at a certain point, a 1 rep max is a 1 rep max. Just like with these things, limit sets are limit sets. I'm doing a lot of reps of 225 on close grip pressing every week. I mean, if you think about it, if I'm doing this 3 times a week for 5 sets of 10, that's 15 sets of 10. It's a lot of volume for your pecs and triceps, front delts. Same thing with these overhead pressing. I think I failed to get to 10 on the last one. I think I reached failure at like rep 7 or 8. First one is always sloppy, by the way. This first set looks sloppy, and it's because I'm fatigued from the overhead pressing, and I feel like I need 1 set just to even get in my groove. Because I do one with the empty bar, and this one, it always looks sloppy. I'm really struggling to get everything. And someone had asked about the range of motion. We've covered that. That is my lockout with a narrow grip. And it's not a mobility only per se. That is literally, we're dealing with shoulder structure in my clavicle. I've got a really wide clavicle. I struggle to actually physically get my arms into certain positions out front. And it's because my shoulders actually get in the way, the bones get in the way. And that's fine. I don't mind. I feel more powerful out of the bottom with all these narrower grips. Same thing on chins. With a really narrow grip, I feel like I get a lot more bicep involvement. So I do the chins real narrow. Lets me get more total volume in, more muscles involved. Same with these. I feel like I pop better out of the bottom. Well, that's what I care about. I'm using this to build the bottom and middle of my bench. And to just get strong, build my shoulder girdle, build my triceps, upper chest. Also, I had someone mention that I'm coming to the camera on these. They're like, you look more jacked on these. No, it's not. It's that I changed the camera angle. People forget that I use a fisheye lens because I use a GoPro. It's like people pointed out I look totally different when I use my normal camera. So because I'm using a GoPro, because it's the only thing I can get fairly close without putting it all the way in the other room, because of the size of this room, the only way I can get different angles is to use a GoPro. It has a fisheye lens. So if I have it down low, I think people didn't realize that. So when I approach the camera at a low angle, it makes my hips and stuff look wider. Whereas when it's up at a slightly higher level, 6 inches higher, it makes my proportions look different as I approach the camera. So it's just funny, guys. A lot of that's camera angle. It's camera angle with that fisheye lens. So this is more even because it's more centered. It gives a better idea. So you guys can see what I actually look like with a little better proportion, at least this way. But that did come up. Now, it just is what it is. I mean, obviously I've recomped. But presses were tough today. They were challenging, and they should be. They should be. It's a lot of volume. I'm doing these every other day, trying to get 5 sets of 10. It's challenging. But that's the thing, guys. We challenge ourselves to grow. I am doing ultra high intensity because I'm maxing every day. High frequency, high volume. With random lifts. And the thing that I'm finding is that a lot of things are true when we talk about overtraining. Eat, sleep, rest, recovery matters a lot. I'm building my lifestyle around this experiment. Sleeping a ton, soft tissue work, tons of food, tons of protein. No junk food, by the way. It's all clean. There's no junk food in there at all. But yeah, it's working. I'm able to recover. I'm recovering better and better. I'm getting better at this. Body's adapting. But I pay attention to things. These, I did 3 sets. I was running out of time, and so I did them on almost no breaks. I did these a minute apart. And I think the final set I got to like rep 9, and it just completely failed. I went up in weight too, so that made it harder. I had more chain weight. You guys can see there's more chains on there. Increased chain weight, took them to failure, short breaks. I got 3 sets and I was done. But the pressing and everything was harder today. Everything was harder. Work density was higher. So all things considered, because again, I'm doing these every other day, it's still a pretty good amount of workload. Because we did a max, did 5 sets of closed grip press, 5 sets of overhead press, 3 sets of triceps. And then I'll do 100 chin-ups here later. I've already done the first 5 before I sat down to voice this over. I'll do the first set, and then I'll do more. Some of them I take up to 10 reps. Just to try to get to my 100 as it gets closer to the end. So we'll do 100 chins on top of this, and then some crunches and stuff later, and then tons of soft tissue work. But these got hard with the work density, plus the pressing was hard today, the weight increase. But we've got to get stronger at these. So you guys got to remember, even if my weights are just challenging and somewhat constant on the overhead pressing and close grip, even if I rotate through bars, these little smaller exercises like this is where we grow off of too. If the triceps are the weak link in all these movements, I have to push my triceps to get bigger and stronger. So that the other lifts, so that the supplemental lifts go up, so that the supplemental lifts put more meat on me. And then more size equals more strength. And that's the name of the game, guys. We get as big and as strong as possible. That is the goal of this. It's the goal of work mode training. But all in all, good workout. It was challenging, a little more work density than I do a lot of days. But I'm happy with it, so I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.